Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today we're going to get back into some shopping because we got a few extra bucks from a sale that pulled through last night on Peak Monsters. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dwayne Cunningham. I cover Splinterlands because this game has changed my life and I'm excited about the future for it. So I think it actually might change yours too. Part of how it does that is by finding bargains and stretching your investment dollar within this space to get maximum impact for what you're already doing. Hopefully there's a joy within your play, within your attention to this, but then if there's joy and an opportunity, that's a great thing. And I think that's maybe why blockchain-based video gaming is like special or revolutionary, because it has hopefully entertainment. You might disagree, I like it, but then also opportunity, financial opportunity tied to the rewards paid per win, or the cards and maybe the assets that could theoretically appreciate. In my opinion, the future looks bright, and so I'm excited to acquire more of these assets. Today I woke up and I saw in Peak Monsters that a sale had gone through. I had liquidated 3 copies of Lorcus for $17.50 each, and that's a 24,500 DEC payout to me times 3. And so I've got 79,000 DEC that I'm thinking about spending at 56 bucks on today's US dollar value. And, you know, I've talked about cards having value for a long time. I've talked about how each of them has a unique opportunity and provides a certain unique ability and utility within the game. And that utility carries value because it allows extra winning. Not everybody shares my opinion. Some people feel cards are, a black hole for money. And many of us, including myself, have seen significant higher valuations on our card assets and now huge sort of cratering lows. And some people think that'll be the story forever. I reject that hypothesis. I think that's what people say when bear markets are unfolding. But in the middle of bull markets, when assets start pumping, as they have in some parts of the sector, and maybe they are starting to here in Splinterlands with 6.6% on SPS today, and we've gone almost double in the last week or so, from 4 cents to almost 8 cents here today. And so I'm not predicting today, tomorrow, moon, but what I'm saying is I have a long-term vision for this. So I'm willing to spend some more of this DEC and buy some of these card assets that maybe you guys are overlooking. So without further ado, what are those assets? I got 56 US dollars or 80,000 DEC. What is it? Well, as I showed you in a recent video, when I go through, I like to look at cards I don't have, cards that I think are useful, meaning they will help me win more often. Preferably scarcity is important, so I look at things like RiftWatchers and Rebellion before I look at Chaos Legion. I look at more modern cards before I look at older cards because of the utility in modern. But all of these factors are flexible. I don't need to have any one factor. I look at the sort of the broad picture of what it offers. Today, in looking at the marketplace under the Rebellion set, I found Goblano Soldier has a big distinction between the per BCX price and the low BCX buy price. And there's only 13 copies of this card. There's only 4,000 BCX total. There's only 900 copies ever, like in this game, and I guess there could be more, but you know what I mean. Like it's not going to be tons more. It might be a few more. And then I come in here, and this is a pretty strong card. Let's just talk about the card for a second. Goblano Soldier, Fire Splinter. I previously talked about how I like how you can now play fire with earth and fire with death and fire with dragon and fire with neutral. There's a lot of flexibility, increasingly so with the new summoners that allow that multi-splinter approach. 3 mana is always exciting. Ambush is a great ability. Sneak is amazing. When you get up at the highest level, this thing is pretty impactful with the 3 damage. 3 damage with a shatter, and for a sneak, 3 damage is really good. Now it's not the best. There's 5 damage sneakers, there's melee and magic sneakers, but this one's an ambush with a shatter, and those are pretty juicy because first of all, ambush gives you that 0 round attack. Second of all, shatter can break a huge like 5, 10, 20 armor, who knows, right? And all with 1 hit. And so I really do think that's valuable. And then it's got a decent speed and a decent amount of hit points, all for 3 mana. So good card, quality card. And then I see the distinction between per BCX and low buy, and that grabs my attention. In looking at the Rebellions, this is the single card that stands out today. The Kazi Fire Mage I featured in my last video, it's still there, 65 cents for the max copy there. I'm just, that's interesting, but this card is less impactful because of its kit to me than I would consider the Goblano Soldier. This card's still interesting. If I could afford it as well, I might. $25 for that card, and the Goblano, which is selling like, almost double the price at the per BCX value, is only is $49. And so this is a gold foil, and I maybe don't need that. You could come over to reg foil and make that, sort of explore that cost differential. But for $50, that would spend pretty much my whole budget. I might do that though. I might. I like that card a lot, and I've wanted it for a while, and it is one of the more respected cards. That's why the value has been higher than some of these cards. It's maybe one of the better commons from that set. This is in the conversation. I'm going to show you some other options, and then we'll make a decision together at the end here. Another card that I saw from Rebellion is this Sky Spire Yak. I've talked about this card before. I do want this card. I have it level 6 or 7 or something. I have it level 8 because mine doesn't have a heal. No, I have it level 7 because mine only has 1 damage, and so it's not really playable yet. I still am using it on my battle wagons, but a max copy would be great. And for $18, it's quite a bit lower than the next cheapest. That's important to me. That's one of those metrics that tell me it's like an affordable option. Now, could it go lower? Yes, but because it's 25% cheaper than the next max copy, I'm interested. Maybe it's piqued my interest. It's in the conversation. Now, the other factors, do I like this card? Do I want this card? Yes. Another consideration that's on maybe the downside for this card is that I already have a level 7 gold foil. It would be great to finish the gold foil and not get a gold foil at a medium level and then buy a max level reg. I could probably finish my gold foil for cheaper than buying this card. Usually, sometimes that's the case. You'd want to explore that. I think this is probably a no for me, but I'm interested. And because of the distinction, I wanted to feature it. Because of the price differential, that's a reasonable discount on the max copy. And so it's a no for me, but it's, it was worth featuring because it shows a little bit of sort of how I'm willing to go gold or regular. I'm willing to max out one, even though I maybe already have like a higher level. I'm willing to think about those things as options. This card is pretty exciting to me. Now I know look at 32,000, 5,000 cards total. Maybe that's a lot of summoners. I don't really think so. Not long term. Not if the game grows where we think it will. So I like this card. I like this card a lot. I have a level 5 of this card, I think, on one of my accounts. And so maybe I don't need it because I already have a level 5. But man, 34 cents for a max copy. In fact, there's 4 max copies at that price point, which is $16 to get a max copy of a summoner. In my opinion, that's really interesting. Now, I don't maybe need it. It's not as pressing of a need as some of the other cards I might feature today, because I already have a level 5 on one of my accounts and I could just consolidate that and that would be largely functional for me. But man, $16 for a summoner, I feel pretty strong about this being in the conversation. Maybe the downsides or the negatives, the cons on this one, there's actually a fair bit of supply in the market. 45 available cards, and a lot of them are max, which means that people are not enjoying this card. They're feeling, some people are making the choice to move away from it. And so I'm interested in it for the price point, and even look at the ROA on it. Like, it's got a 33% ROA at that price point. So this is a strong contender, and that's maybe where we're going to land. But let's look at a couple more options. That would only use a part of my budget, which is also cool. Coral Lurker. I only have level 3 of this guy, and at level 4 we get 1 more hit point and thorns. That's a big deal. I need that upgrade. And look, $14 for 3 copies, and I think that's what I need. I was looking at my deck earlier. Coral Lurker. I actually need 1 more on top of that, but that would be great. I'm missing 5. There's 1. I'm missing 4. And then there's a 3 bomb right there. I think that's a strong. I'm taking that. Like, that's priced according to the lowest BCX, or sorry, the max BCX. So that's usually that price, I would argue, is not sort of commensurate with the low BCX. And as you look at this 6 BCX being sold for 40 cents more per BCX, etc., I would argue this is on a discount. So I'm going to be buying that one for sure. To me, it's a good card. I don't have it. I want it. It would impact my play. It's going to help me win more often. It's within the BCX that I want. It's also at a discounted price when you consider the BCX price point. So that to me is yes. That's happening, as long as it doesn't get sold before we finish the video here. And then on this screen, what was I looking at? I think I was looking at more RiftWatcher Legendaries. So I was kind of scrolling around just looking at everything. Aggro Longtail I need 5 copies of. There's no 5 BCXer. This one's pretty interesting maybe for the 3 BCX, but I don't want to spend 35 bucks on a card. The Aggro Longtail is, you know, it's almost as good at level 3 as it is at level 4. Level 3 gets that one more magic. That's a big deal, but it's not as big a deal as the upgrade with the Coral Lurker. And the Coral Lurker is actually less expensive. And so I get more impact for less value. So that's a no. And then I keep looking and I look at cards like Inevitable. I would love. I think I need one more copy of that to go to level 3, which would be big. Going to level 3, I get the repair. However, with this card, I'm spending 20 bucks per BCX. And that's, you know, not a deal breaker exactly, but it has to be brought into conversation when I could maybe get, you know, 2 or 3 cards instead of just one card, right? Immolation I really want, and at $7.50, this again looks like a good deal to me. $7.50 per BCX for a 4 BCX copy. This would leave me wanting one more. This is a 30. I would love the level 4, and I only have one copy, 1 BCX of this card. So it's pretty much non-playable in my opinion. But if I can get it up to level 4 with Blast and Inspire and Scavenge, I really like it. Problem is, you know, I don't want to spend 90 bucks on this. It's a great card. This could be well worth it. I actually think it would be for me, but it would leave me one shy of level 3, which would then make me come over here and buy this one for 10, which as you can see is quite a bit more expensive, bringing my total purchase price to 40 bucks. As opposed, and I would still need 6. So I mean, yeah, it's just kind of, if this was a 5 BCX, buying it, period, done. Because it's a 4 BCX, it ends up becoming less attractive. I still really like that Fernheart. I like that Coral Lurker. I'm looking for big distinctions with the per BCX and the low cost, and I'm looking for cards I don't have maxed. I have Kai. I don't have Kane Haste. I have Haste at level, I want to say level 2. So, you know, level 3 would be great, and that's a pretty cheap max legendary right there with the redemption. But I don't know. I mean, I don't feel as excited about that card. Hot Raw is another one I have at level 3, which would be great to get to level 4, meaning I need 6 more or 5 more. And this is tempting at that buck 16 per BCX. I would go over leveled because I would buy this card and merge it with my other, and I would have 12 BCX, which is too much. But look at, you know, it's actually financially, it'd be theoretically worth it. I'd buy that card. It's lower than the high bid. It's a great price per the low buy. And then if I was to, for instance, buy 5, just buy 5, I'm going to spend more than that because $1.70 per BCX, $1.80. So that's actually pretty interesting. And if I have enough, I might even do that because that level 4 gives you that extra archery damage, which is pretty significant. But I have other cards that I'm longing for too. And, you know, we could get into conversations around those. I could go on for hours about what I don't have. Tinderlock, I don't have at max level. I'd love to get that thing up. It gets the last archery. It goes up to 4 archery at the very end, which I would love to see. Uloth Dampier, I don't have maxed out. Cabalist, I don't have maxed out. There's some amazing cards in this set. Bramble Pixie, look at this. This is a card that's in contention. 4 cents per BCX for a $16 card on the max level. I only have like a level 7 of this or level 6. This is way huge improvement, huge jump forward. But is Bramble Pixie more helpful, long-term more valuable than a Fernheart? I think not. And so I think we've decided we're gonna add one of these Fernhearts. I would almost wish I could buy more of them. You know, if you could lock up this and just sit on it for a while, I would wager that it's going to pay for itself. But you have to believe in the game long term. You have to believe in the card long term. You have to, right? And you have to have the assets with which to invest. Not everybody would want to do that. Not everybody would agree with me that this card is worth it. I like it. I want it. And I think max level on this account would really help me. Then the Coral Lurker has to come with me too. I definitely want that Coral Lurker 3 bomb. Oh, I see what happened. I've got 2 different screens open, which means I have 2 different carts. Where's Fernheart? Fernheart Goldie. What's the gold deal about? Check this out. Hang on now. $100 on the... Look at the differential on that price point. A max gold foil, $100. Whoa. I don't have $100, but that's pretty interesting compared to the $55 per BCX, and this is a very scarce card. There's only 551 of them, but even though it's interesting, it doesn't fit in my budget. and therefore it doesn't fit in my plans. Boom. So what do we got here? With the Coral Lurker and the Fernheart, we're only up to 30 bucks. I could use some max, I could use some Queen of Crows, but I don't want to buy a max copy. What else did I see? The Goblano is too much for my remaining budget. Those are the only two cards that I really felt strongly about. I guess I could come back to that. You don't have to spend everything. No, too. I got to talk to myself about that. You know what I mean? You got to like check yourself. And oh, I don't have a max. I don't think this card's amazing, but $4. I think I'm going to get that card. It's a, you know, there's a lot of copies of the card compared to some of the other cards, but a $4 max common, which I don't have, and which has, you know, a good amount of hit points. I don't love this card, but maybe that's in the conversation. I don't have a max Dumok. $9. My Dumok is life. My Dumok is level 8, so I'm 2 levels off. That's interesting. $9 though. Oh, you know what? We want that inevitable, don't we? Yes, we do. We're going to spend the 20 bucks. We're going to get that inevitable. Yeah. Oops. Did I just close my... No, I'm good. We're going to get that. That feels like the choice. It's not a deal. That's the one card that's not a deal here. But I'm okay with that. I feel like the other two are deals. Let's make it happen. Inevitable Fernheart Coral Lurker. Go. I kind of, if I had more left over, if I had 30 bucks left over, I might get Immolation. If I had 50 bucks left over, I would probably get that gold foil Goblano Soldier. But as it stands, I like what I just snagged. Let's come into my RiftWatchers. See, there it is. I'm going to undelegate. And we're going to go to level 3. This is a big upgrade. Going from 2 to 3 without repair is a huge deal. Nice. Okay. And then the other card I wanted to max out was my Coral Lurker. Oh, I'm still 1 shy. If I can get it, I'm getting it. I'm 1 shy. Coral Lurker. Can I 1? 1 is a huge, it's $2 more. You know what? We're gonna make a bid. I can try and save that $1.50. Boom. We'll see how that works out, but that's another angle with DEC. You place your bids, you sit and patiently wait, and you end up saving some money maybe. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, guys, for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God bless.